Douyu Super League Group A winner bracket final. The winner of this series will advance to the playoffs alongside Life and Lin. And here are your two players. Oh, I didn't update it yet. It's not affecting you. It is, of course, 120 and TH, two of the all-time greats in Warcraft 3. Here we are. And I didn't know that, but I looked it up. And 120 is on a win streak for more than a year now against TH. Actually, TH didn't win a single map against 120 since January of 2017.
How many maps did they play?
They played 7.
That's pretty sick.
2-0, 2-0, 3-0.
Is like 120 his new feared rival?
Seems like it.
Of course, this is the rematch from Super GCS. This is the most recent, big game between them. And that was a 0-3, a tournament in which TH looked pretty much unbeatable up until he met 120. 120, who has been the king of Undeads for a long time, but before the Super GCS, seems to have fallen off. So that was really interesting how the guy who looked impervious to opponents was down by the guy who had fallen off a little bit. So I wonder in which state the two are going to show up today. We start on Twisted Meadows, the biggest map we have in the map pool. Cross positions with the Undead spawning in the top left, and the human in the bottom right. So it should be a fairly easy creep camp to take, not too much harassment. But yeah, TH, I still remember his game against WFZ in GCS, not Super GCS, but the normal one. And that was just like the best human versus Undead I've ever seen. But again, in Super GCS against 120, he started making mistakes, which he usually really doesn't. I wonder how many mistakes he's gonna make today.
And of course, a lot of stuff comes down to this very creep spot here in the bottom for TH. Tomb of Experience and Flute or Rope would be the dream, and that gives him a huge advantage. It is the Tomb of Experience, and it is a Flute. What a call!
Jesus. That are some pretty fortunate drops. So far, no Militia have fallen. The one gets microed back. It's gonna be very vulnerable to DK harass, but DK is not a harassing. He's going for the creeping first, realizing that he's not close to his opponent, so harassing wouldn't do too much, and he values the experience more. He's gonna start attacking very, very soon. But honestly, isn't creeping this perfectly, because he took quite a bit of damage on the DK.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I don't know if he got lazy or something, but usually you want the damage on your skeletons, like you see now. Not perfectly done by 120. He will have the Unholy Aura soon and get some HP back, but yeah, not ideal start for the Undead King.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, he doesn't have to do much with the harass to reach level 2. As you can see, only 12 experience away, so he will get that. But ideally, of course, you would love to steal some last hits here. Steal the Ogre Magi, that's the dream. But TH, smartly realizing that his opponent was creeping and did leave him alone, goes for the Ogre first, gets that one. So he's gonna have the big experience. He's gonna have level 3 right here. But oh baby, a lot of these peasants are still very vulnerable.
He doesn't get that one. Okay, sends the skeleton after it. Will get the kill in the end. What is the DK going to do? 1 coil and 1 kill. But he's so low already. He's at 150. And the Archmage with the flute can just fire away.
And I have to say, like, that was just subpar creeping. If you do that perfectly, the first creep camp that he undertook, you end up with like 100 damage on your Death Knight. But he took way more. Nice steal there, though. Gets the Trapper. But yeah, he has to run. He's way too low. Does TH have the resources required to set up the expansion right away? Not really. Ooh. So we could see, after his laboratory creep, he went over to the gold mine right away, realizing that he was not being pressured to creep it up. But he can't quite expand, yet has to wait a couple of seconds. We'll have to get a tower as well. And 120, I thought he was going to fall back here to a safety of his base to heal up, but no, with his low HP, he's still looking for more damage.
In the meantime, he's tacking and getting a Nerubian tower, because we know that the humans love to relieve pressure by attacking the Undead space, storming the base with Footmen to go for the Acolytes, especially in tech. But this Does not seem to be an option here for 120. He's stepping back, one more kill, and now TH it's down to only 3 peasants. That means he has to call new ones, which cuts into his economy even further. So tech for TH should be delayed already with this.
Oh, and another peasant will be killed if he invests the coil, which he will. He got so many peasants here, and usually that's of course a really nice move with the devil teleportation, trying to, as you said, alleviate pressure by being aggressive yourself. But this time it really backfired. He lost like 3-4 additional peasants, and his expo, yeah, only now coming up with only 3 of those peasants.
Very good start for TH, but the Necromancer is coming back from the dead. Sending in more skeletons to scout the progress on this one. 4 footmen only. 5. That's okay. 2 fiends for 120, but tier 2 is done. Lich is coming. Slaughterhouse is in the builds as well. And tier 3 should be starting soon, so I guess this is a pretty quick destroyer push.
Looks like it at the moment. He's going for the tower here in the back and is gonna get it actually, the DK man. He has been below 200 health for, seems, an eternity. But finally the peasants are safe, or are they, without the tower up there? There's always the threat of more harassment with the skeletons coming in. So this was very expensive in terms of economy for TH. His tier 2 is still nowhere in sight. He's gonna have the lumber for it, but only after he finishes the expansion finally. Dude, this is so late. Tier 3 for the Undead, almost halfway done. Lich comes out, statues on their way. And he can keep being aggressive.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much pressure with the Lich now. Especially the statue will help him so much with the DK being super low. Basically the entire game, like with the first creep spot. We have to mention this a little more, I guess. How effective this harass was despite... Ooh, this feed loss should not be happening. Oh wow, slowing down the Archmage so he can't get in range. Superb play by 120 so far, despite the issues with creeping earlier.
I think the AM could commit here. He has a telestaff to get out to try to get the fiend, but he's not going to. Only 2 fiends. He hasn't lost one yet. And yeah, it's double slaughterhouse. This is like European style.
Yeah, heavily committing to destroyers. Once the mana is gone, of course, they will have a problem if there's enough towers.
Could TH cancel the slaughterhouse? It doesn't seem like he wants to try to go for that. Nova into all the footmen, did you see that? Yeah. Every single one of them was hit, really nice. DK has 1 coil, he has to decide which fiend to use it on. Use it on the right one.
Perfect.
But the one to the left is probably gonna fall. But fiends may not be too important with his heavy destroyer push. He loses the one. And yeah, this is the thing when you only have 2 fiends. A timing like this is really hard to deal with.
And there's no coil for the second one, and he loses them. Archmage gets it, super close to level 4 now. Even the Acolytes are in trouble now, and he's still teching, so shouldn't lose one here. Nova to help out, and the Water Elementals are absolute key to this harass. So much damage.
1 Acolyte has fallen, 1 Ghoul as well, and of course he needs a lot of lumber here for the Destroyer form upgrade. He does have barely enough. You would love to have an orb now as well. So hard to deal with all these water elements, and you really don't want to lose the statues, but he will. 1's down.
What Infi and TH are accomplishing with Archmage and Footman, we mentioned this every single time we see it, but it's just so impressive. It's just so unique. It's just incredible. In an undead base,
yeah.
He killed 1 Acolyte, 1 Ghoul, 2 Fiends, and a statue. And what did he lose? Like 2 footmen? 3? 3 footmen, right?
A couple, but definitely worth it. And that's the weakness right there of going that fast destroy with only 2 fiends. One little thing here, by the way, to point out, it was not the best base layout by 120 because one of his ziggurats blocked the path behind the Black Citadel. If that had been further away, it could have been microing better. But how much would that really have changed? I'm not sure. And with that, also a lot of time has been bought. At the expansion, 5 towers coming up. In the main base, pretty much 5 as well. The tech is super late, but as long as he defends against the destroyers, that's fine.
Yeah, and 120 is still, like, he has to react to this second attack. The DK is there. Lich and destroyers are attacking the expansion now. So the army is split. We don't have destroyers yet. The mana will be drained from the statues pretty soon. And again, he summons the 2 water elementals for even more damage. The economy for 120 is suffering hard.
By the way, if Lucifer is watching this game, he must be saying, "Oh, why no Spirit Tower? Oh!"
It's exactly.
That would have helped him out tremendously. Lol. But yeah, he wanted to save as many resources as possible, put it all into the destroyer push, but the greed was punished. It was punished hard. TH did not respect the undead base as many players tend to do. Oftentimes rightfully, sometimes too much. And now he looks to be in a great position. The Lich and the statues on the other side of the base. Like, what is a single Lich gonna deal concerning damage? Like, it's laughable.
Yeah,
his tier 2 may have been super late for TH, but he can now rush tier 3. And he seems to be in a fantastic position right now.
We see triple workshop down at the expansion. This is gonna be tanks, everybody. The first attack upgrade is coming, and tier 3 is on the way. Plus the masonry upgrade, we only have one at the moment. Second one is kind of key, I guess. Like, you can break towers with one masonry upgrade, it's still okay, but once you get the second one, it's so hard to break him. So much more HP and armor. And will TH have the time to get the workshops up? So far it looks like it, but this is the first bigger push by TH. A little too late, as it seems.
Yeah, 3 destroyers, only 2 of them with mana, is never enough to kill all the towers in the back. He does delay the construction of the workshops, but not by too much, honestly. One of the destroyers gets low, but gets coiled as well. There's only a single archmage here, trying to defend, but yeah, the towers are doing the main job. Getting Novat now, getting focused, but yeah, he realizes this is hopeless. GG.
Sick. Obviously, it was a good starting position for TH. Obviously, he had the best drops imaginable at the laboratory. But there was, like, he survived the first harassment by 1-0 very well, and then counterattack, and there was nothing against this.
I think 1-0 did pretty good damage at the expo. He killed like 5 peasants, maybe even more. I think that was really respectable. But yeah, it was really greedy play overall. Teching 2 destroyers on 2 fiends is greedy, no matter how you slice it. I wonder, had he not taken that much damage on the first camp, had he done it perfectly, you know? Yeah. And then been aggressive with the DK after, could he have been annoying long enough in the mid game to buy space for the destroyers? I think it still would have been close, but you know, at some point he had to go back to his base because his DK and his fiends were just too low. If he had had a more perfect early and mid game, could he have kept the human on his side of the map to make that greedy destroyer push work? Maybe. But with the few flaws that were in this gameplay of his, this was just too easily punished. TH realizing, capitalizing really well. And I don't think we're going to see this double slaughterhouse push again.
I don't think so either. The current GCS champion has broken the curse of his matchup against 1-0. First one map since January 2017. And yeah, will he overcome his nemesis today? Looked like it on TM. We don't have the second map yet, but I'm joining the room as we speak.
Thank you very much, Mikey PX, with the €5. I think we've seen this before. Saying the comeback for the light is real. And Jacobus with the first time sub. Thank you guys so very much and welcome. Could you invite me, yo?
Yes, I'm confused because the map is 2 rivers.
2 rivers?
Yes.
Say what?
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 It is 2 rivers and like nobody seems to be confused. Now TH is writing something. It should be Turtle Rock. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe they got it confused because of that.
Yeah.
2 rivers is ridiculously broken, by the way.
Yeah, but everybody joins and nobody is saying anything and nobody's leaving now. Oh, well, there's a QQ group. Yeah, and TED is calling for TR as well. And the hosts are leaving the room, so there's gonna be a rehost here. Well, technically it is TR, but you know. Not yet. Maybe with the LV version, but I don't think so.
Thank you very much, Mercurius4 with a 13-month resub saying 13 is my lucky number.
Me too, man. I was born on the 13th of July at 1313.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's, by the way, the guy who I met at ESL1 Frankfurt.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a typical Bavarian guy. You know, he had his whole crew there, and they were dressed as meepos. And
Nice.
they had the meepo caps, you know. And lots of beer was involved. Unfortunately, only Bitburger, because that's the crappy-ass beer they got there. But, you know. Better than nothing. They had really weird rules as concerning what you can bring into the stadium, which was basically nothing. But you could bring water, but not water in a bottle. It had to be like in a, what's that called in English? A Tetra Pak thingy, you know?
Yeah.
And it could only contain 0.2 liters.
Okay. Come fast.
That's a
Oh,
restraint.
nice. That was close.
But apparently, the longer the tournament went on, the less strictly this was followed.
As it always is, almost of the time. So someone took red, I guess. Wasn't me.
Me neither.
The winner of this match, by the way, will face Lin in the semifinal. So I wonder, are they thinking about losing this match and winning the lower bracket final to face only Life and not Lin?
Are they arrogant enough to think that they're gonna win anyways if they drop down?
I can imagine that, to be honest.
TH1-0 probably talked about it.
Yeah.
TH1-0 and Infi, they are kind of in this group, you know, of elite players, and they are friends with each other.
But Life is in there as well.
Along with Life, yeah, exactly.
Would be like a betrayal to their friendship, like, let's lose this to just meet this scrub. No, everybody has great respect for Life, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think Life is like on fire currently. Lin has shown a few weaknesses. It wasn't many, but you know, a couple here and there. I think Life is absolutely crazy at the moment.
I think if you're TH, you rather want to face Lin than Life, because he seemed to be beatable with tower rushes and like crazy tower rushes, as we saw in the group stage of Lin versus Infi, and he's the master of this shit. I mean, Naga, Tinka, and I bet he can play a Fire Lord as well. So, if I'm TH, I really want to face Lin, because he lost quite a few matches against Life recently with the oftentimes mentioned Mass Dryads strategy by Life on
Yeah,
easy.
good point. And I think in the end it comes down to what the meta between these players is currently. I'm sure TH like playing against Orc better than against Night Elf at certain points,
Yes.
and vice versa. What it's like at the moment, I'm not quite sure. But
Speaking of-
let's take this game for what it is. It is a match among two great players, and we can only hope that they're going to give it their best. Turtle Rock is the next map, and that's a very rough one for the humans.
It is close position, though. Speaking of TH, currently second best player in the world according to our ELO ranking, had his birthday yesterday, 27 years old. By the way, birthday of Todd as well, two human gods. Born on the same day, at least. Not the same year, but same day. And he got his marriage certificate yesterday. Not the big wedding party, but he's officially allowed to marry now. Same as Infi, who also got this certificate on his birthday not too long ago when he defeated Lin 2-0. So maybe it's a lucky charm.
And this reminds me of the game of 1-0 versus Infi. It was in the top part of Turtle Rock, not in the bottom part, where it was close positions, and Infi blew our minds because he won that game on one base, on tier 3, triple hero, with a mid-game heavy militia push. That was just super crazy. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see this here as well.
Dude, that was so out of this world. How he did that, like, it's unheard of to defeat Undead on one base, rushing tier 3. That was so surreal.
And I think that's the only option, because I mean, can you expand here? I don't think.
No
I
way.
don't think that's a great idea.
No
The
way.
Undead's right around the corner. This creep spot is hard as scroopies, and you can attack from multiple angles. I guess in this case it would only be attack from one angle. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to look for some aggression here from the human, and maybe some early spirit tower in the Undead base, as of course Lucifer would approve of.
Yeah, we saw the harass on twisted, and that was cross position, so a huge distance between the bases, and he still killed how many peasants? 5, 6? And delayed everything. So imagine this on closer position with a healthy DK. There is a footman. If he's stealing one of those turtles, that would be superb for him, but no. He's just right-clicking on the DK, and I really like that.
And the AM isn't creeping at all. Oh, there it is. Militia push. He's not waiting for the tech as Infi did. Oh, and he's gonna lose the first ghoul. Oh, damn. This is so lumber intensive. But of course, also very lumber intensive for the human with all those militia being called. First blood. Onto the ghoul. Narrow Tower is coming up. Narrow Tower is finished. But like, what do you even focus? There's so much stuff here.
Acolytes are running away. And the Archmage, man, down to 60, but in a super comfortable position. I don't really know. And with what to focus? You only have your ghouls.
He doesn't have the money for a fiend.
This is disastrous.
Yeah.
Human stuff all over the place. But a few units are about to drop, and the militia duration has run out. But this threw 1-0 back into the Stone Age.
Yeah, this is so expensive, man. Jesus Christ. He's gonna get a footy here, at least for his troubles. Maybe even able to get more. Unlikely though. He is fully mining again, finally, but he's so far away from the tech. Human tech has already started. It's gonna be like halfway through by the time the Undead starts his, it seems. And he really doesn't want to lose any more ghouls, and he won't. The one thing here is the AM is super low HP right now, so that's a significant weakness. Wouldn't be too upset to see Boots of Speed here. But he's getting an Arcane Vault as well. One Acolyte scouting here in the human base knows what's going on. 1-0 is gonna have the lumber for the tech right now. JK, in a few seconds though.
Yeah, but it's a post 4-minute tech for Undeads. That is really late. It's of course a very unusual situation now, and he's building even another Acolyte, so his tech will be at 5 minutes, maybe 4:40.
Yeah, he's making one, anticipating to lose more. AM gets slowed down now though. How many coils are there? Not a single one at the moment, but there's gonna be one in a second. He wants to get the school before that's dangerous! That may even have been intentional, honestly. He's level 1 after all.
Yeah, the experience for the ghoul goes into the Nimbus. No one got it. But this buys 1-0 a little bit of time.
But the tech difference, man, is ridiculous. He's almost done with tier 2, TH. And 1-0 just started his.
What will he do on tier 2? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be breakers. He got an early shop as well. But with what? Is it breakers, gyros? Is it tier 3? Very hard to say from this point, I think. Archmage back.
Still only level 1. Close to 2 though. The DK does have mana for coil, so he could be able to steal the big one that would keep the AM on level 1. Depending on how many skeletons he gets, actually.
Yeah, there's no way for 1-0 to pressure this at the moment. He's running into a surround! Oh no! I was about to say that there's a danger of being surrounded there with TH's micro and the amount of footmen that we have. And yeah, now he spent this time encircled, being hit from all sides, and now he's again down to below 200. I mean, there's Blight, there's the aura now. He can survive, but this is not ideal at all. And he's supply stuck.
Tier 3, he's getting the MK. It's probably going to be some, I don't know, Knights Griffins maybe? We're going to see.
Knights Griffins on one base?
Yeah, it's going to take a while. But he bought a lot of time. The Undead's still not tier 2. And 1-0 keeps on trying to be annoying, going for the AM here. He's pretty healthy though. The same cannot be said for the Death Knight. Once the MK comes out, the DK is in immediate threat of losing his, in immediate danger of losing his life.
Got a circlet there, but as you said, Stormbolt inbound, lots of footmen still, because he has no fiend. He can't fight this. You can only coil them and attack a little with skeletons, but they expire, and you know the damage isn't that great. Finally tier 2 though. Fiends are coming. He doesn't have the resources for the Lich at all. And we're super close to tier 3 and Blacksmith is finished as well. His tech tree opens for Knights.
Is he gonna expand? Militia are coming from the main.
Wow.
He does technically have the resources. Perhaps not quite for power build.
Ballsy move. I mean, this
It's
costs
like Night
a
Elf
lot.
play. We expand on the way to tier 2, tier 3.
I mean, he does have the resources, as you said, but he needs units because 120 is catching up in tech. It's again the double slaughterhouse play, and I think that's the only thing that can bring 120 back into this game. Like a fast destroyer push now, and if there's an expansion, this is a target that he can break. The main base, I don't know, but the expansion for sure.
Would have been really risky. Yeah, and he sends the militia back. That's not a risk that he seems to need to take. He has one workshop coming up, but you can't go into mass gyros too easily on one base. So these destroyers will have a timing where they can ransack the base, basically, because there's a single guard tower in there. Again, the resource is missing on the human side to go heavy into anything.
We have a level 3
level 2, though.
DK. Yeah, we have a level 3 DK. Mountain King level 2 with a great inventory here. Wind of Mana Stealing and the Pendant. And this TH
Can he take this red camp? With only footies?
He can surround the Lord.
The Lord of the Ogres.
The Lord of the Ogres, but... Alright. I think he's just sniping the Lord. Well, if he gets the Ogre Magi, then the rune drops. Oh, nice shockwave here. Warsong Battle Drums. Ooh, these items are sick.
Yeah, so he has a couple of Stormbolts for this, but he has a lot of mana here to work with. So yeah, this works. Not too hard, in fact. I wonder if he should have given 120 all that space in all that time where he only had level 2 DK and 1 Fiend. Maybe he should have been creeping up at the Undead side a little bit more. But he's getting a lot of experience and great items here on this side as well. Once again, great skeleton scouting. Sees what's going on over here. So here we have him. Statues coming in, destroyer form upgrade on its way, and already the first couple of flying machines as the counter.
We do have double workshop now, so he's skipping the knights entirely. As long as he has a few footmen, I think that's okay. Flag cannon upgrade is coming as well for area of effect damage against air units. But is it enough against this destroyer push? Tower count 1 still. Masonry upgrade 0.
I really like what TH is doing here. He's trying to hard counter destroyers, all that he needs to do, because on the ground his heroes are starting to become strong enough to do this by themselves, basically. The AM is going to be level 4, the MK is already level 3. How quick was this? Yeah. If the Paladin gets to level 3 in time, he's going to have a super solid ground army. 120 is going to have basically nothing of a ground army. Level 2 Lich only now. DK is level 3. That is, of course, mandatory. And here we go. Destroyers are coming in. 4 statues against how many flying machines? I count 6 at the moment, but it's going to be many, many more in just a little bit of time.
Yeah, one of the shortest build durations in all of Warcraft flying machines. And here we go. 46 supply for the Undead God. We have 46 for TH. Oh, it's 50 versus 46, sorry. But yeah, triple hero, flying machines. What can he accomplish? He's draining some mana. Here come the flying machines. Area of effect damage is sick. The Fiend falls because he has to save the coils for the destroyer. But I think he miscoiled one?
Not too sure. But these flying machines are being microed so well at maximum range. A lot of mana has been wasted on the footmen. And now the destroyers are mostly out of mana. I think TH could just A-click here into this. But he doesn't want to be that lazy. DK still healing from the back, has 1 coil remaining.
Lich!
The Lich falls! Where was the coil? GG! And that just seemed way too easy.
Way too easy, man. The 2-0 streak of newlyweds continues. Infi 2-0 over Lin, TH 2-0 over 120. The curse is officially broken, not only winning a map against the Super GCS champ, but the entire series. And that was a demonstration of force, man. Basically no mistakes by TH, right?
I couldn't see any, really. And that militia push, once again, proving to be super hard to deal with. In fact, there not being an answer to it. I wonder, like, if you know it's close position, could you prepare better for this? I think you can't get a spirit tower up in time because your graveyard is super late by the, just by the normal build. I don't know what the good answer is here. Maybe a faster fiend. I don't know.
Spirit tower is not in time as well because, like, obviously the graveyard is missing too. It's really hard to say, but also the commitment of TH there. It's not guaranteed that you kill so much or create so much pressure if you lose a few peasants there to the Death Knight, to the Coil, to ghouls. Then your tech is late, and you can't really afford that on one base. So there is a risk doing that.
So in the end, weirdly, it was pretty unfortunate for 1-0 to get the close positions. Cross would have been way better for him, in hindsight. But there's always a bit of luck involved in Warcraft 3. He's now down in the lower bracket. He's going to face WFZ or Focus, depending on who wins. That's going to be our next match.
Exactly.